Okay, Birdhouse sewing machine drawer number 2. Got the nice little thing on the back there, as you can see. It's going to be the side. This will be how it sits. I kind of like them sitting down like that. What I've done is I've come in, I put in these reinforcements on the sides so that I've got something for it to sit on. And what I'm going to do with this one is I've taken and I've nailed in a real cool piece of wood that is going to sit like this, and I've cut the bottom end of it out so that to contour the bottom of the drawer, and it's actually going to look like that. And then when it sits, it'll sit like that. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it'll have like a nice little ledge for them. And then I'll come back over and I'll put this piece on the top and come back in and fill the other side and go from there. So this is kind of what my next one's going to look like. Thought I'd show it to you right now. Adios. Okay, so I've gone ahead and stained this piece of cedar that I cut and fit to go along the bottom here to the contour of the bottom of the sewing machine drawer. It's going to go like that once I get it ready to go, and I've already clamped the front and the top. And so now I've got those going together. Then I'll cut a piece in the middle. Then I'll figure out how to start to decorate it so it looks nice and add some moss and some other little odds and ends that are kind of cool. Well, I guess I've been very negligent on my videos because I really got a lot done since I showed it last. I was just showing you before what I was going to do, and now I'm going to show you what I've already done. I added the 2 pieces of pondo pine across the top, and what I'm going to do is come in and fill this in with the witch lichen. And then down in here I put some more mosses with a piece of nice bone in front over by where the opening is that goes into the birdhouse. And of course I put the Flat Creek Studio logo on there with another real nice twig and different types of moss and lichen on it. And then here's this little glob of really cool old bark that I nailed to the front of it. So right now what I think I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do something like this. I'm going to put one of these down, one of those down, and then I'm going to have it sit on these as kind of a base, so it will look like that, and get this off the ground. But then I was also thinking about taking this guy and putting him up on, I'm going to cut this way down so that he stays down like this, and putting him in the middle. So if somebody wanted to hang it from a tree, they could, or they could leave it just as a base. But I'm going to have to cut this and modify it and angle it and all kinds of stuff. It will, if it will even fit at all. I just got to play with it a little bit and see whether I really like it. I want to get it lower. If anything, I want it to be more down, like about like this, but in the center. Anyways, it's coming along. I'm kind of getting close to done. I'll show you more about it when I get there. And there it is. I think I talked about this before. This is a mixture of steel wool and vinegar. And what it does is that if you put any kind of a wood in it and you give it a good liquid coating like that, and then I'll do the other one as well, what will happen is it will turn it kind of almost like a barnwood color, a real nice kind of a brownish color rather than being white. It gives it like an antiquing look. So I'm going to do that to the 2 bases that go underneath this here. And it stinks for a little while when you first do it, but I've used it on a lot of the birdhouses and it's really pretty cool. And I think if you look at this birdhouse, you'll see the oak piece in the center there between the pondo pines. That was done with the, right down there where the moss is and stuff. That was done with my special sauce again too, and it turns it into a nice old looking piece of wood, even though it's been freshly cut. So that's kind of my secret on that, and we'll go. So I usually have a paintbrush that I can paint this on with, but I don't have one today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip it in like this for starters, just to get the ends going. And then what you can also do is just take like a rag, hold it over the garbage down here, take a real saturated rag, and then just get this wood all wet is all you got to do. And what will happen is it will really turn into a nice looking, a different color, but it really adds a nice dimension to the wood itself once you get it on and done and looking good. So we'll do this like this, ladies, as they say. Let east and let that. And then it's going to look like that when we're done. And I'll put it off onto the side somewhere and let it set. And I'll show you what it looks like when I'm all done. You see, this goes in the garbage. And this I hit with my thumb. Okay, so this is my little pile of witch lichen that we collect up in the forest off the trees. You know, it hangs off all the branches and stuff. And what I do with it, I bring it into here, and you can take pieces of it and roll it and almost turn it into like a rope. And then what I'm going to do is come into here like this, see how I want it to look, a little bit more down at this end. And then I come back in with my glue gun, and I will glue this in place just as a filler in the front. It doesn't go too far into the birdhouse itself. It just gives it a real nice look across the front. This is kind of fun. Back in the 60s, when I lived just outside of Ann Arbor, I had a little ceramics program going in, and I made this guy that used to be on the side of a cup. No, it was actually a door knocker. And of course, over the years it broke, but I got a chance to keep him, and so he's sort of my he's my work spirit that I keep around here. And I've had him for, gosh, going on 50 years now. Okay, so what I do is I take the glue gun and go just inside the bark a little bit that can't be visible all the way along. And then I take my witch lichen and I stick it down in there so that the pondo bark is still exposed. So you see that real nice rough cut edge. And yet it's going to hold this lichen in place with the glue gun and kind of set it down in there like that, so it looks kind of nice. Not too terribly thick, but just enough that it works. And then I'll do the same thing over here. And sometimes when there's a big exposure at the end, I'll give it a little bit more glue than normal. Run it down on the inside so you really can't see the glue. But this real simple lichen catches on it real easily too. Bring that guy back into there, and then just kind of push that down into the hole so that it fits down in there, something like that. And then what I do is I come back and re-push it back in again a little bit to make it the way I want it. And then I'll take a pair of scissors and I come across the top and sort of trim it up so that it looks like it's supposed to look like. So anyhow, that's it so far. Okay, there we are, everybody. Got the little sewing machine handle on the end there, and finished up with the witch lichen across the top, my Flat Creek Studios logo. I've got it on the 2 logs underneath, and I got a nice handle here to pick it up if you want to hang it from that, or if you want to set it on a table. So anyways, it's done, and I'm done. I'm going out to dinner with some friends. Show you sewing machine drawer number 3 next. We'll start that one maybe tomorrow. Okay, here's the sewing machine drawer Birdhouse number 2 finalized with the handle on it. And I just came in and teak oiled all of it to make it look nice. And it turned out great. I'm real happy with it. Not too much going on in the back. It's just a real simple drawer on the back side, but it looks kind of nice and antique-y. And then coming around onto the front side, it just turned out to be great. So I'm going to make a video of it you can see on my Flat Creek Studios Facebook page, and probably put it on my YouTube Steve Gibbons page. So the full video of how to build it and how I build it will be there if you're looking for a couple good laughs.